President Biden has dropped out of the presidential race, and many people have been wondering, what does this mean for the market? Here are my thoughts on this edition of the Video Market Update. So, those of you who know me, have listened to me for a long time, have heard me repeatedly say that the stock market hates uncertainty. But there's an old Wall Street adage that says, bad certainty is better than uncertainty. And so my argument has been for a pretty long time that this election was not going to have a huge effect as far as the volatility in the market, because Wall Street already knew how a Trump presidency and a Biden presidency would reflect and how the market would react to that, because we've seen both of those. So with President Biden now dropping out, what does that mean? Well, I think we should first set this table to see where are we actually at right now with the polling that gives us an indication of who's most likely today to be the president now that Kamala Harris is the presumptive nominee. So as of July, the polls were close and are still close. What we don't know is, as he mentioned, how are people going to react when they see Kamala Harris not as the vice president, but as the nominee of the party? As we learn more about what her economic plans are, and will they vary and differ substantially from President Biden? So there's a few things at play. The first is, what does this mean for the equity market? What does this mean for stocks? Well, two things. One, there's something that's been referred to as the Trump trade. What's that? That is essentially Wall Street and analysts pricing in that President Trump would be reelected and become President Trump again, and that his policies would be what the market would be looking at. And so there is a worry that that Trump trade may now be unwound, because now there's potentially a greater likelihood that he doesn't win. And so equities could certainly see a negative impact. I don't see fixed income necessarily being affected either way, because that's really based on what happens with the Federal Reserve. You would have to assume that if the Federal Reserve were to cut rates, they would probably do it before the election. And so right now the market's just looking to see what direction is it going to go based on what it's hearing. Again, the uncertainty today is going to lessen every single week, every single month, until we get to election day. And then by November, we'll know who the candidate is, and we'll know where the market should be going based on all available data. So just been getting a lot of questions this week about what's going to happen with President Biden dropping out, and how does this affect the market and the stock market and the economy. So if you have any questions on this, let me know. But if not, as always, I hope you make it a great week.